Femaba, and of course, brief highlights the article. Of course, the executive brief highlights the outcome of the weekly executive council meetings and key updates of the Dr. Alex Otti administration. And to talk to us this morning, as usual, is the Honorable Commissioner for Information of the State. He is Prince Okekano. Welcome, Honorable Commissioner.
Thank you, Francis.
Also, here is my colleague and co-anchor Chinezrem Abakuru. Welcome, Chinezrem.
Thank you. Good morning, dear listener. Good morning, Honorable Commissioner.
Morning.
I remain yours, Francis Moban is saying once more, welcome to Executive Brief. All right, sir, let's go straight to the questions we have for the Honorable Commissioner this morning. Honorable Commissioner, from the ESCO briefing yesterday, we gathered that a no-distance future Abia government will unveil a 25-year development plan that would articulate the state's development trajectory for the next 25 years. What is this all about?
Thank you. It's a document that will define the growth and development trajectory of the state for the next 25 years. It's a plan that will define how this state will be developed and governed over the next 25 years in a very structured manner. If you take a cursory look at how this government has operated from the beginning, you could see that this government has been very strategic in its style of governance, even in the deployment of resources and all. So this strategic stance towards governance is being taken to a higher new level. Now is the time to put it on paper, put it in a document form, and articulate it very well so that successive governments, even after this one, will come in and there'll be a trajectory. And the document will define this growth trajectory in the short, medium, and long terms. So the whole idea is to say there's a blueprint on how governance should be handled in the state, and not the kind of thing we have seen in the past where people come in and everybody wants to recreate what concerns them or what defines their personality, as it were. But here now it has nothing to do with the governor, but it has to do with the governance of the state. Put a plan in place. What do you want to achieve in the short term? What do you want to achieve in the medium term? And what do you want to achieve in the long term? Once these things are put in place, it's like plug and play. Even if His Excellency Dr. Alex Otti is no longer there, his successor that comes, if he's from the same party and is playing according to his own playbook, the person will come in and continue like that. But then we're even thinking about whether it's somebody from his own party or not, right? Once you come to govern Abia State, there's a plan in place. We follow it. That's the reason you see some level of stability in the US or in the Western world. Yes, some presidents may come and want to change a few things, but a few things about development are sacrosanct. Fine. So that's the kind of thing this government wants to do, so that people don't just come in and more so when they lack ideas, they start running riot all over the place and say that government. So that is what this plan is going to address, and it has to have a legal backing. That legal backing will be such that no government will come in and easily want to change. Yeah, a government can come in and maybe through the House of Assembly want to change an existing law. But once the thing is, giving that legal backing, it will be a little bit difficult to just come with the wave of the hand, advance the state, to whatever. All in all, it's going to be an interesting document that will define leadership, so that Abians will have an idea where they're headed in the short term, in the medium term, and in the long term. And that will guide both those in Umuahia and the local governments in the LGAs. Everybody will have a direction where they're moving, so that this state, 25 years down the line, you look back and say, yes, Abia State has really advanced in terms of development. So that's what that plan is all about.
Nice one. In another dimension, Honorable Commissioner, government has announced that the second batch of teachers recruitment exercise is ended. The portal has been officially closed. But then we have 28,813 applications, Honorable Commissioner. How is the ministry going to handle these applications? It's humongous.
And it's like 4,000, just 4,000 opportunities.
It's going to be a Herculean task, but we've experienced that before. During the first batch, it was almost the same figure. The figure hovered around 29,000 or something. So this time around, about 28,000. And like Francis now says, they're just looking for 4,000 people. But nothing will restrict the state government from increasing that number if there's need to do so. The number the government is employing is a function of the enrollment in the schools. So as the students enroll and there are more people, more teachers will be brought in, and to fill gaps. So they closed the portal sometime last week and collected these figures. Now that portal has been opened again, but the portal will not accept fresh applications. Rather, what that portal is there to do is those who applied and uploaded their information will go back there to go and verify the information supplied to be sure that what they supplied is the right information. That will now guide the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education to go through the applications, look at their qualifications, and decide on those who are qualified to come for CBT. That's the computer-based test. So if you're shortlisted based on information supplied, on the portal, you will come back for a CBT test. If you now pass that CBT test, you go for an interview. And if you go for the interview and you pass, you now be taken. So you see that by the time they go through these processes, that number will be tamed down. At the end of the day, they're looking for the best hands that will go to our schools to go and teach our children. So that's what this whole thing is all about. And I think a cutoff date of 5th of December has been set for them to deal with this verification of their details. Yeah.
So it's a very good one for our schools.
Sure.
Honorable Commissioner, talking about education too, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education recently conducted an annual school census in the state. This is the first time I'm hearing of annual school census. What is it intended to achieve, and how were they able to do this?
Yeah, like they say, if you don't know the numbers, you can't fix it. So what school census is all about is to know the number of schools in the state, whether they are primary or secondary school. So, and because it was conducted by the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, so the focus. So they're looking at the primary schools and the secondary schools in the state. That exercise is to enable them collect data. Because without data, you can't plan, you can't make policy, you can't plan effectively, for your ministry and for the government as a whole. So now, having done this, they've collected the figures and they've uploaded the data gathered from this exercise to NEMIS. NEMIS is the National Education Management Information System. So they've uploaded it there. I know a lot of things in the education sector are centralized. There are certain funds that come from the federal government to the states for education and all that. So it's always good for you to have the numbers and know where you are or where you stand at any particular point in time. So in this exercise, Quite a number of people, schools were involved. About 4,150 schools were involved. About 1,682 or 87,300 and something students were involved in the exercise, and about 45,000 100, 200, so to speak, teachers were involved in the exercise. So it was something that was quite widespread in the state. And there were quite some very interesting outcomes from the exercise. One of which was they distributed free Android tablets to heads of schools, about 1,221 of that distributed, to them and proprietors of schools, and that helped them to conduct this exercise. However, during the course of the census, it was discovered that the owners of private schools were not very forthcoming with information. Some were scared, and the reasons are very clear, maybe because of some levies or whatever they're supposed to pay and all that. So they didn't want government to know the exact number of students or whatever they had. But I believe that's in the past now. These people still went ahead to get the necessary information they required. And the outcome is such that for the first time in this state, for the first time in 24 years, we can sit back and say, this is the number of schools we have in primary or in secondary school. And this is the number of students we have in school now. So, this is the era of out-of-school children. You begin to count who is in school, who is out of school. So you can see that about 25 to 26% of our population is in our primary schools and in our surrounding schools. Very interesting. And such data helps government to plan going forward. You have an idea the number of people in our primary schools and what this portends for secondary education in the next 1, 2, 3, 5 years. Ditto for tertiary education. So data gathering is very, very key, and that's what that exercise try to achieve.
So, all right, since we're still in the education sector, let me ask, what has happened to the renovation, the retrofitting, the upgrade of public schools embarked upon by this administration?
Ongoing.
Okay.
Very ongoing across the state. I thought you would have added the smart schools.
Exactly.
Fine, the smart schools are being built, and every LGA will have at least one smart school for starters. Okay. At the end of the day, we may end up having up to 100 smart schools around the state, but you can see how this government operates systematically in a strategic manner. Let everybody get one for starters, then you go to the next level, just like it happened with the PHCs. Every ward in Abia State, out of the 184 wards, got one. But some wards, some LGA, because they have, they are very big in size and population, they got a little bit more than others, okay? So that's how we have 200. But everybody got one. So it's the same thing with the smart schools. Every LGA will get one. And from there, they start ramping on the figures to 2, 3, 4, 5 PLG, and maybe at the end of the day, we'll have up to 100 around the state. So the projects are ongoing, and not too long ago, there was a facility tour of those schools, between the Commissioner of Basic and Secondary Education and some press crew. That very soon will happen again. We know that during the rains, the pace of work was slowed down a bit, but we're in the dry season, and I believe all the contractors involved will take advantage of the dry season to speed up construction work. So maybe in another 6 weeks, we'll be able to see what these guys will have been able to put on ground before the rains will set in again. So they're ongoing.
Commissioner, I hope we should also be talking about security for these schools, because after installing all these things, securing them is another issue.
Yeah. Some weeks back, that's why this government is very strategic. We don't just plan or do things by rule of thumb. People sit back to their brains and come up with ideas. some weeks back, let's say about 8 to 10 weeks back, security people were recruited around the state schools.
Yeah.
We before now, His Excellency directed the Homeland Security to ensure our schools are secured around the state. But a step was taken further by now employing particular security people for schools, particularly from the areas where the schools are located, because it's always good to have people from a particular area, who know their area inside
Who
out.
know the terrain.
That's what who know the terrain very well to have a looking in such jobs. So our schools will have them around the state. Yes. So our schools are secured.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
So, what's the update on the electric buses which have been procured by the government? Of course,
Which have started arriving.
which have started arriving. Yes, a few days ago.
I'll answer you, but you don't go outside of my ESCO briefing.
Yeah, this one is
What
important.
you do after asking me questions about my briefing, you can go into that.
We're
But
done
I'll
with
grant you.
ESCO.
You are not done.
I mean, this is important. There's been so
Yeah,
many questions about
no,
electric
no,
buses.
okay, no,
The
no.
excitement seems to be there.
I said in the lighter mood. I said so. Quite a lot of work is being done, behind the scenes. The buses have arrived, and there are different groups that are working. It's not as easy as people think to just get buses and put them on the road. The Ministry of Transport has been doing a great job before now. You can see, looking around the state capital, you see bus shelters right from Aguironsi Boulevard into town. You see bus shelters around the state. These bus shelters are meant for these buses. Now, you have what we call junction improvement works, and you have the terminal that is being put together near the EC gate. All these things are infrastructure that need to be put in place so that these bus services will run, smoothly and unhindered. So, and of course, you have, the electric buses. So the charge stations are being installed. So a lot of work is being done all together, and I believe before the sometime this month, before the third quarter of the month, His Excellency would have maybe launched this bus service to take off preliminary in Umuahia. But a similar bus terminal is being constructed in Aba, but the one in Umuahia will be ready before that of Aba. So these buses, when fully operational, we satisfy the yearnings of Abians in the city and the yearnings of Abians, between cities. So the bus services will most likely operate both intra and inter services. Intra within Umuahia, intra within Aba, then inter between Aba, Umuahia, Ohafia, and all that. So, we're not stopping at 20 buses. It would have been 40 now, but the other 20 are coming later. And those 20 didn't come with this because government decided to install ramps on them. These ramps will enable those who are disabled, but who have who move with what is it called? With wheelchairs to access those buses, unaided on their own. They can board the buses. So putting that special is purpose built for our state. So it has delayed the arrival of those buses, but there will be the second batch to arrive, and what that means is we'll now have like 40, while the rest are being put together. At the end of the day, the first phase of this first service will entail the deployment of about 100 buses around the state. So to be a bit more specific with your question, all hands are on deck to ensure that the bus services take off very soon. All the stakeholder groups are being engaged. It's not easy to just come and say you want to run this bus service. You have the National Road Transport Union. You have to get their buy-in for them to understand what this whole thing is all about. And it's not coming to take their businesses away. If anything, the bus services are coming in to complement what they are already doing. Ditto for those who use all those small Y buses, and within the city, those who use keke. So all these people form the stakeholder groups, including the people themselves who will enjoy these services. So we are getting to the level of engaging them in some town hall meetings, and some form of advocacy to explain to people to really understand what this mass transit service stands for and what it has come to do for Abian. So people should be helpful. Before the end of the year, they will start enjoying the services in a quick way.
It's all right, I think it's time we open the line for our listener calling.
Yes, the number to reach us with, dear listener, is 0814 299 1448. Let me take it again, 0814 299 1448. The program is Executive Brief on 88.1 FM, BC Radio, and of course, Real Flow, and a few other stations. So you've been listening to the Honorable Commissioner for Information, Abia State, Prince Okekano, talking to us this morning about happenings in the state. We expect that you call in and ask your questions or appreciate what is happening in the state. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
We got you. Good morning.
Honorable, good morning.
Good morning. Who is speaking, please?
My name is Pastor Stanley Carlo Emeto, representing from
Pastor Stanley
Carlo
Carlo Emeto from I know it's on Hafia.
Isugu Ahafia.
Isugu, okay. Carl.
Yes. What I want to say, I must thank our governor first of all for going to visit Nnamdi Kanu all the way from here to Sokoto for the Johnny Mercy, when the Lord granted him and his entourage going back and coming back. And also, I must thank God also for our governor for the buses, because people have been asking about these buses. Finally, first batch of the buses have arrived. But where I have a problem is during the time of Ochendo, he introduced these coastal buses that are carrying people from Aba to Omaya. And by that time, the transport fare become lower. Both the bus and the coastal was not the same. But as soon as the eternal of Ochendo finishes, everything became normal. Now you can enter coastal bus that is carrying 30 people and pay 1.5 to Aba. Also enter a hammer bus carrying up to about 15, 18 passengers. Also the same price, which is not supposed to be. So I pray that this time around that it will not be like that. And I want the government to also invite private partnership to also own these buses, acquire these buses, so that it will help Abians in transportation. Because the transportation fare in Abia State somehow is on a high increase, because you cannot tell me upon the good road that our governor have constructed all the way from Omaya to Ibere to Ohafia. Very good road. In 30 minutes time, you are in a 50 minutes time, you are in a very good place. It's not good.
All right, thank you, Pastor.
Okay, thank you, Pastor Stanley Carlo Emeto, for your contributions. But I want to tell you that government, in his wisdom, will not do exactly what they have suggested. Good as the plan may sound, but you see, the buses are very expensive buses. And if you begin to ask individuals to own it, the next question becomes, how do they pay back? But beyond that is that, as government is running these buses, government is not running them to really make profit. Government will subsidize the fares to help our citizens. That's why it's mass transit. So the structure is being worked out, and it will be such that these buses will exist side by side with other transport services. So it will not be a choice of our people to choose which ones to use. But all in all, whatever plan we make, we'll have the people behind, we have them in mind. And the whole idea is to ensure that you do for Abians what will make life easier for them. So on that note, I want to thank you. Recently, lest I forget, recently there was a study and they found out that Abia State came first when it comes to charges in the transport sector. And part of the reason is because maybe our roads are very fine. In places where roads are not very fine, you see that transporters charge more because they complain about the state of the road. So all these things will get better for our people. Abia, the fares here will be such that our people will be able to pay them. They will be affordable. While government runs these services, subsidizing whatever they will pay. And at the end of the day, it's all about Abians feeling good and happy, with what government has put in place. Thank you for your contribution once more.
All right, thank you, Pastor Carlo Emmet. So I'd like to encourage everyone who's calling in to put your points together so you go straight to the point and give room for others to call in. Good morning. Good morning, we got you. Hello?
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello.
All right, I guess there's an issue there. You might need to call again. 0814-299-1448. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Oh, Commissioner Ndewo.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Deaconess Elizabeth Oyo from Isialangwa North.
Okay, Deaconess, good morning.
Good morning. They had me to hear that. When you want to go to
Okay, ma. Okay. Amen. Thank you, ma.
All right, thank you, ma. Thanks for calling in on the program. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome. Tell us your name.
Ikechukwu.
Ikechukwu who? Okay, what's your surname?
Commissioner.
Good morning.
My suggestion is that, like this bus transport, how it's been done in Ghana, the Chinese firm who manufactured it and brought it to China, I think they are still assembling in Ghana. So they own it and run it. Because I don't think that most of our mechanics has the knowledge of maintenance. We have such buses in Abuja, and they were all packed off after many years. These electric buses, those that manufactured this should be contracted to run it as a business and maintain it and replace it when it starts having faults. That's my contribution.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for Ikechukwu. Thank you for your comments. What government wants to do is not very far from your suggestions, and that was why I said putting the operations of the buses in individual hands might be a bit clumsy and difficult. So government with the manufacturers and the suppliers will work together in the interim to start off that mass transit service in Abia. Issues of maintenance is very, very key. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome.
Honorable Commissioner, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Who is speaking?
Hamza Chiemela Block Mode.
Good
Honorable
morning.
Commissioner, ejima aha ndị nsogbu niile na-ekele gọvanọ si ala anyị si ya ma Chineke gọziela anyị ya isi gaga eletụrụ anyị Nnamdi Kanu mbụ onye anya ya.
Sorry about that. I think you need to call again. Maybe you don't have enough airtime, or maybe it's a network issue. Please to call again. Chimela Block Mode. 0814-299-1448. The program is still the executive brief. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. We got
Hello.
you. Yes. Go ahead.
Hello.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello.
All right. There must be an issue there. Please try to call again. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, clearly. Go ahead. All right. I guess there is a network issue somewhere. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Tell us your name.
Good morning. I'm from Process Commissioner Bana Bomrike in him.
What do you say?
You can hear us.
What's the name? What's the name, please? The name. What's the name?
He can't hear you.
In place, but the teachers are not at their school. Home school this morning. At after 9 o'clock, principal added vice principal added. But I'm for to 8. I said, Pian, you know about the teachers. Nka wotu. Nka abaworo. Na nekele governor. Ebo shugalete Nnamdi Kanu. Nekele ko dia no lo mo la lo na de ti agawa ni. Chideke go tie ya. Chideke nyere ya aka. God bless you.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. He didn't want to disclose to us. He can reach me through my ministry's number or through BCA. We need to have an idea of such schools. We have school inspectors who go around the schools to check what they're doing. But when we get the information about particular schools, we will focus on them. We put the searchlight on them and find out why the principals are running the schools the way they're doing. But all the same, thank you very much. He didn't mention his name. What's your name, please?
He's gone. He mentioned it, but it wasn't clear
Okay.
earlier. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello. All right, your line is reading, but we can't hear anything from your end. You might need to call again. Good morning. We got you. Good morning.
Is the phone not from here? Something?
I don't know, because some people are getting across to us.
Why
So I'm
some are
just
not
wondering.
Yes.
Yes.
It's issue network issue.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
We got you.
Morning.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good
What's the
morning.
name?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Go ahead and tell us your name. All right, dear listener, in case you're able to reach us, mention your name clearly, then go ahead and say what you want to say. I want to believe it's a network issue somewhere. Good morning. Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Who is speaking? Yeah, good morning.
Hello.
There's a problem.
There is.
The number is still 0814 299 1448. Good morning.
Yeah. Good,
You're welcome.
good morning.
Go ahead, tell us your name.
There's some like West Boba Yada.
Okay.
There's some.
Kuwe.
And I make a governor all about Alona. By report about go to school or my community primary school. Better deba. School I have a toilet, have a urinary. Omaka Najuma Nagaraga. And they have for school that in the south. Somebody has got better than Kubaka. Kayat school haka. There
Well, thank you, Desam, for calling in. Honorable Commissioner.
Well, sometimes it's neither here nor there when you hear some of these complaints. The complaints about a school not having a toilet should not come to government in Umaya. It should go to the local government. That is why they are there. That's the first and foremost place, to complain. And these people have councillors. So the way it is, the state comes in when the local government can't handle an issue or they fail in a particular area. But calling the state to come and fix toilets in there, I don't think is the right thing to do. However, the ministry needs to take it up to in line with the renovation of schools that is happening. But if the situation is so dire, they can fix a toilet. Some places you can have for the interim have mobile toilets. Construct some very simple standalone toilets for people to use. I didn't quite get all the details. He didn't give more details. I would have flagged the number with the Honorable Commissioner for Power and Public Utilities, who is handling this open defecation program for the state. So this kind of complaint would have interested him, would have been of interest to him to see, okay, what interim measure should be taken to address this issue in the short term and of course in the long term, so that the students will have a very good environment, you know. So I wish I had a way to reach out to DESAM. I would have loved that, so that I would locate the school and know what to do.
All right, this time you can drop your number on this line, 0814-299-1448, and indicate that you're the one. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Are you there? Our time is running. Maybe we'll take one more call before we wrap up. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, man.
You're welcome, sir.
Honorable Commissioner, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Who am I speaking with?
I'm ndị ụmụ Ezeta m bịakwuta m last week nsọ m na wee nwetabeghị ego ha ndị ka emere tamper with their land. Ọ bụghị ndị ka ụmụ osu makwanụ ndị ka ụmụ eze ukwu, kama ha nwansịlawa ahụbeghị ego ha. Ma m jisi ike kwuo lee ma wee nwere ike ka akwụcha awụ ụgwọ wee ma narịọ biko n'ụlọ anya na ha gbasara airport ebe ahụ.
Ụmụ Ezeta.
Ụmụ Ezenta.
I doubt the veracity of this claim, but I'll still verify it. To the best of my knowledge, they finished paying all those who are supposed to be compensated out there at Nsulu, and the project is moving on, you know, very well. But you can never say. So maybe something happened and maybe one or two people have not been paid. I don't think it's something that is widespread. So I'll try to highlight this to the chief of staff. He's the person overseeing that project. I'm part of it in a way, but to the best of my knowledge, they paid compensation to all those who are qualified to receive one.
It's all right. I think this is where we'll wrap up executive brief on radio today. Of course, we'll be interacting with the Honorable Commissioner for Information, who always comes here to explain key updates of the doctorate duties administration to us. Honorable Commissioner, it's been a pleasure having you once more.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Chinezerem. Now your name is too long.
you can take you can take Chinez or something.
Chinez.
Yes.
I hope that's not the one you come husband.
It's all right, Chinezerem Babakure. It's been a pleasure meeting you too.
Thank you very much, Francis. Thank you, Honorable Commissioner, for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
It's from all our partner stations and all the people in the studio. It's me, Francis Mumbani, saying keep a day with us same time next week. Bye for now.